Hello, Chi. How are you?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing fine. So let's start watching videos.
Okay, let's jump to it.
Are you? Yes.
I'm,
Yes.
This is why you should never open the door to anyone or anything at night without knowing for sure who or what it is. A single mother named Lupus and her 3 children had caught footage of something very strange that appeared at their front door. They had just woken up from a deep sleep when suddenly they captured this. Now, prior to this incident, the family had been experiencing unusual activity at home. They believe that the reason strange things have been happening to them is because they live in an area where a lot of witchcraft is done. Sometimes, the family would spot shadowy figures lurking around their house as if someone or something was observing them. One night, the family wakes up after hearing what sounds like a cat meowing at their front door. They quickly grab their camera and capture this.
¿Quién eres? Tú no eres un gato.
¿Qué pasó? ¡Ay, qué es eso!
Vete de aquí, ¿quién eres?
¿Qué es eso?
¿Quién eres? Tú no eres un gato. Te ordeno que te vayas de mi casa.
As they continue to record the supposed cat, a few things become apparent. Firstly, the cat's meowing seems quite unnatural, suggesting that someone or something was imitating these sounds. But as if that wasn't enough to prove this wasn't a cat, a pale-looking face can be seen at the door upon looking closely. It's as though whoever or whatever had been there was trying to trick the family into letting it in by pretending to be a cat in distress. Not much else is known about this video, which has yet to be fully explained. But if there's anything to take away from this footage, it's that it's crucial to be careful when it comes to answering your door to unexpected visitors, as you never know what might be on the other side.
hello.
Okay. What do you think about this video? Do you think it's real?
Um, it's potentially real. I get the feeling that there's something there. Um, I don't want to say that this is nefarious, but it definitely is not a happy thing. It's something that you definitely need to be careful of. And one of the things that the narrator said is that the people suspected that these weird things are happening because there some witchcraft has been going on in their area. If you're living in a place, and I don't want to be critical of these people or anything, but in general, if you're living in a place where somebody is rumored to be doing this, or you hear through the grapevine that there's some craziness like witchcraft or something happening in your area, then it's probably a good idea to take care of that. Now, let me just address this really quick. Now, I don't know if this is, what is it called, pareidolia? When I look at this picture, and the bottom, you can definitely see a face there, but right next to that, you can see a woman standing there. There's a woman in a dress standing with her left leg forward, and then her back is straight and her head is leaning kind of forward, and she's holding something in her hand. So I don't know if this is my brain playing tricks on me or what, but I don't just see one entity, I see two. But I do feel that there are entities in the area, and they don't mean well. But what this is, I cannot exactly tell. So from a strictly observational point of view, as I'm looking, there's nothing definitive there. But from, let's say, how I feel, or a psychic revelation, if you will, I definitely feel like there's something there. And what their purpose is just to create mischief. They definitely have some guidelines that they have to operate within, meaning they're not allowed to just bum rush the door, run into the door, do all kinds of things. So I'm not sure what their purpose there is, but it feels very mischievous. I don't think that they're there to kill or to hurt anybody, but it's definitely not a happy thing. It's not something that you should open up your door and feel this. Now, if these people are in their house, there's a sound in the middle of the night that wakes up everybody, and they think it's a good idea to just go outside and look. This kind of stupid. If you hear a sound outside and you're living a distance away from neighbors, it's a good idea to call the police. It's a good idea to bring somebody else there. Exactly. It's not a good idea for you, unprepared, unknowingly, open up the door and look out. So there are a couple of things that are a little bit sideways about this video. But from a psychic revelation or from a psychic point of view, there's definitely things happening in the area that they should probably be wary of. And as far as, hearing stories that, there's witchcraft in the area and these things are going, you have to, if that's happening and you don't want to believe it, it's okay. But if you start seeing strange things happening around your house, it's probably a good idea to either one, move, or two, protect yourself against that. But it's definitely a bad idea to just ignore it like it isn't real. Modern science says, according to science, this isn't real, or according to science, we don't have any definitive proof one way or the other. But they have to understand that science is not caught up with all of this other, like, technology, if you will, has not caught up to the reality that you and I experience on a daily basis. So just because science or technology can't explain it doesn't mean that it's not happening, and it doesn't mean that it isn't real. And the more I look at this video, the more I can see the woman standing there as plain as day. So
what would happen if this woman ran at full speed toward this entity?
This entity is probably going to run away, but I'm not sure what that woman is going to do. The woman in the picture, I'm not sure. I can see that she's there. I feel that there's an entity there, but I cannot feel whether this is positive or negative. The one on the floor is a negative.
The one on the floor is like a puppet from the
woman? She's a marionette. No, I think they're just two separate entities that just are together. They're I don't want to say companions, but they're doing things together.
Are these things human?
No, definitely not human.
So this thing is not a witch, right?
No.
It's the creation of a witch?
No. It's not a creation, but it was brought there because the energy that was created in the area. That type of energy is almost like a beacon. So let's say you're out on a boat or on a ship, and it's a foggy night. The moon is hidden by the stars, and then you see this lighthouse with a very bright light. It's a beacon. It's showing you this direction. When they play with this type of witchcraft, what they're doing in this area is they're creating a beacon that you and I cannot see, but these entities can see. And they can see it from a distance, from way far off.
Do you say that you can live or protect yourself? How can you protect yourself against witchcraft?
There's a lot of things that you can do, like with herbs. There's essential oils. There are many things that you can search online about. But one of the quickest, fastest things is to focus your mind and expand your chi or your life energy around your area. Now, this will take a little bit of practice if you're not used to it, but it's very simple to do. All you do is imagine that there's a bubble around you and expand that bubble around your home or around your area. And these entities typically cannot enter that because the energy it's going to take for them to do that is not available to them. Now, if you do have an entity, or if you're not very good at doing this, because it's very important not to have any doubt when you do
Mm.
this, because that doubt is going to make this fail. But once you set up this boundary, you can always strengthen it, and it doesn't really take any energy away from you. Like it's there's going to be a little bit of an energy drain, but it's not going to make you tired. It's not going to do anything like this. It's very, very little, but that energy is real, and these entities cannot enter into this area. Now, if one does, all you have to do is just strengthen it again and then let it go. Now, if there is an entity like this one, for
Mm.
example,
Mm.
that is here, there are two that I see
Mm.
here. I feel many in the area. All you have to do is send your energy there,
Mm.
and they will 9 times out of 10 leave.
But you put yourself in the shoes of these people, right? Let's say
Mhm.
you are under attack, paranormal attack. You are losing sleep. You are worried about what is happening. You don't know what is happening. How can you concentrate to do that?
Well,
Another
that's very
person can do
important.
that for you. For example, can you do that
Yeah.
for
Yes,
any
I
person?
can definitely do this. No matter where I'm at, no matter where they're at in the world. And you have experience with this in your area as well. So in this case, if this is me and I feel like I'm under this type of attack, I have a very special technique that I employ. And I take my ball of energy. I'll take this energy, what's known as chi, and I will exit from my midsection. It will exit my body, and it will go to where I want it to go, and then I will supercharge this energy. And I don't want to say this because it sounds kind of weird, but in my mind, I imagine it's like a nuclear, like a mini nuclear explosion, and it just explodes. Boom, all entities in the area will be gone.
Mm.
They and typically do not come back. If these entities prove to be more powerful than that and they come back, there's another technique that I used. I just discovered this by accident when I was a kid. I had a very traumatic experience with some entities in my room, and I was scared out of my mind. I literally did not know what to do, and I set this chi energy just to explode in my mind. All I did was visualize this and imagine, boom, those entities were gone. But when an entity came back, I sent that entity to the edge of the universe, to a very, very, very unique place that is not quite like a black hole, but it's very similar to a black hole. But once the entity is there, it's as if they never existed. And I found this place on accident. I was just meditating and just experimenting in my mind while I was meditating one day, and I just wanted to see what the edge of the universe looked like. And to explain it, I think I was like 9 or 10 at the time. I don't remember the exact age, but I was about 9 or 10. And I was just calming myself, meditating out and thinking out. And I would explore what people would call astral projection today or remote viewing. I didn't know about any of these things when I was 9 or 10. But it was a game that I played in my mind just as a way to escape the environment that I was in. And I would do this, periodically throughout the day, sometimes several times a day, sometimes, once a day. And I wanted to see what the edge of the universe would look like just in my mind. And at that time, I thought it was just my imagination, not a big deal. It's just a game I play in my mind. So I went to the edge of the universe, and what I discovered was, what I saw was, the edge of the universe is always expanding. Now, later, as I became an adult, and I hear like from YouTube and other places where scientists say the universe is always expanding, I was 9 or 10. I had no idea about any of this back then. But what the edge of the universe looks like is when you're at the edge of the universe, out there, beyond this edge point, is complete void. It's like nothing. It's pitch black. You can't see a thing, but you get this feeling that there's no energy there. But where the edge of the universe is, it's always expanding, but it's like a waterfall, and it's constantly flowing, and it's constantly going forward. And when I was at the edge of the universe, in my mind, just thinking that this is just a game that I'm playing with my imagination, I looked over to the left because I could feel this energy there. And when I looked over to the left, that's when I saw this, what appeared to be like a black hole. But it doesn't suck everything into it like a typical black hole is. But this is definitely a hole. It's definitely black, but it's not a typical black hole. But once I like with my mind trying to look into it, there's absolutely nothing there. Out past the edge of the universe, there's nothing there. It's a void. But you have a feeling that there's a thing, but I can't really explain it. But there's nothing there. But we're constantly moving forward in that direction. But this thing is absolutely nothing. And then what I discovered, over the course of the year in playing with this and just using my imagination, is that if I'm ever attacked, like let's say these creatures come to me, I could send them there. And this is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of light years away. Now, most people think that hundreds and hundreds of billions of light years to travel there is going to take hundreds and hundreds of billions of years. No. Our mind can go there instantaneously. But the reason why I decided to send the entities there is because I don't know. Does the entity belong in heaven? Does it belong in hell? Does it belong over here? Where does this entity go? I don't care. Because if the entity is here to hurt me or to hurt somebody else, then it needs to go away. So I will send them there. And what I found is they never return. They're gone forever. And throughout my psychic experiences in dealing with this, I don't want to say I've had conversations because it's not really a conversation. It's more like this idea or this idea, I guess is the best way to say it, pops into your head, almost like a conversation with somebody else, but it just pops in your head, like knowledge. Like for no reason, I've got this sudden knowledge. And that is that these entities that I interact with from time to time, they know me, they know who I am, not all of them, but many of them. And if they are doing something that I feel is threatening me, they can tell by the energy what I'm about to do. And I will have a thought that will enter my head as if they're saying, no, I'm not dangerous to you. Please don't do that. Because they know that once they're there, it's as if they never existed. Wow. So, and every single time that I feel this danger, this is what I will do. Wow. But my very first step is to always have a bubble of energy around me, kind of like a keto would have a dynamic sphere. And in this case, with these two entities there, I would just wrap them up. Like a tornado, just wrap them up in my mind with my energy, and they would just be gone. And I wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't even give it a second thought. Because any entity that wants to enter into my house and create mischief like this and give me a sense of I have to protect myself, it's time for them to go.
Wow. Chip, that was a fascinating explanation. Let's watch the next video. Okay, let me stop the sharing and
Following video shows three friends who are hanging out at a friend's house when suddenly an unsettling occurrence is caught on camera. What starts off as a simple get-together eventually turns into something straight out of a horror movie. The friend hosting the gathering is filming her friends, showing off her new camera when the following is caught on tape. This is what was captured.
Cámara. Hola. ¿Qué es mi cámara? Me gusta. Hola. Qué divina tu cámara. ¿Te gusta? Mía, boluda. A nadie me regaló. Me regaló mi mamá.
Ay, comiste todo, hija de puta.
Tenía hambre.
Escuchá, trágate un hambre, boludo.
Hace mate. Dale. Mira.
Aguanta que
mira,
todo.
no usa.
Ahí está. Ajá.
Dale, te compraste y no se lo usas. Escuchá, ¿qué pasó con Gaby? Te cuento lo que pasó. Gaby, tú lo sientes.
Oh, you serious? This is a Ouija board?
Chocó con la moto. Con la moto del papá. No, ¿con quién iba? Con la moto del papá chocó. Vamos a jugar lo de la copa.
No,
Dale, eso está por. Y para eso vinimos más o menos.
Dale.
No, qué crota.
Sí, vinimos
No,
visitados
boluda.
para eso. Dale, claro.
Dale, boludo.
que dejaron
Y lo estaba jugando con ellos
Anoche. Dale.
Dale.
Y vamos a grabar con tu cámara.
Dale, vamos.
Pará.
Saca eso ahí.
Matcha?
Ay, para.
Oh, they're gonna draw it on a piece of paper.
Ay, no, tráele más ya. A ver,
Ay, estamos entonces.
acá. Ahí.
Más frío, tu mate.
Ahí.
Más o menos. Poné
Ahí.
Tengo un hambre.
Ahí se deja, ahí está. Feliz.
Para preguntar. Yo tengo más experiencia. Pregunta. Bueno. ¿En serio lo que está pasando?
Sí,
¿En serio?
Preguntar
¿En
si hay-
serio?
Si hay alguien en esta casa. ¿Hay alguien en esta casa?
No jodan, ¿en serio se movió? No jodan, ¿en serio? ¿Viste? Vos sos boluda.
Ay, no.
Una
joda. Ay, fue una joda. Basta.
¿Puedo hacer con esto?
Pero, boluda, disculpa.
no,
Sí, vamos a ver, jodita. Ay, pero para empezar, bien.
Pero si vos...
Bueno,
Una joda.
Hay que
Fuera
terminar
joda,
eso.
fuera
Hay
joda,
que
fuera
terminar
joda,
eso.
fuera joda. Para, boluda. Estoy
Hay que
mintiendo, no
terminar
estoy
eso.
jodiendo.
Para clarizar. Eso se movió en serio.
Sí.
Hay que terminar.
Agarrá.
No, mira. No, para, boluda, dale, que tengo miedo, boluda.
Now, in case you missed it, towards the end of the video, moments before the lights go out, the wine glass can be seen moving on its own once more before one of them notices. It was at this point that they realized that they probably shouldn't have played with the makeshift Ouija board, as they were deeply disturbed. Not much else is known about the video since the original source is unknown. But like always, you be the judge as to whether or not the video is real. Is this actual paranormal evidence or
What do
not?
you think it's real?
Now,
Do you feel
one of the
something
things
there?
Yeah, one of the things that I worry about with this video is how the glass is just moving in a linear line towards the corner rather than moving back around, circling around, doing something else. So it's very likely that this could be a setup, but I don't think so. The feeling that I have is, even from the beginning of the video, they're going to be using a Ouija board, and it doesn't matter whether you buy a Ouija board or you draw it on a piece of paper or on the floor or on a table or anywhere. It is definitely a bad thing to do. So with the Ouija board or with the glass moving, this could be real because of how the girls were walking around. If there was a wire there, like a fishing wire or something, we would have seen it, and maybe the glass would move a little differently, and the girls walking would have walked into it or something. I'm not sure, but with the energy there that I feel, this is definitely not something that they should be playing with. Children especially are very vulnerable to this kind of stuff because in their mind these things are not blocked out. Their mind is open and it's processing information that sometimes adults can't see or comprehend or feel. But because the child's mind is so open and free, it makes it easier for them to be able to do this. But for an entity, this is like a playground. It's a place.
Can you tell me a little bit about the entity they
This one is not good. This one's bad. This is looking for a place to go, and is looking to do something very mischievous. very devious, I should say. So this entity lives or gets the energy from their fear. So it's going to try to do things to scare them more, because when their adrenaline is pumping and their energy is flowing like this energy or this entity sucks and lives off of this energy. One other, I guess, is the best way to put it. The entity needs this energy, craves this energy, wants this energy, and it's going to create this. And this will escalate, because almost like a drug, people are going to get used to it, so they're going to need more of that drug. This entity will do the same thing with the energy.
But in this particular case, can you feel which kind of entity did they bring?
What do you mean?
Uh, What thing moved the glass?
This is a very mischievous entity. It's not a ghost. It's not a demon. It isn't anything like this. This is an entity that is here. I hate to say on vacation, but this entity is here. It's probably been roaming in this area for a very, 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 very long time, because these people in this area are very scared. They're very superstitious, and this entity is getting energy off of this. So here we have 3 children, and this entity is going to be drawn to this immediately. And when they're opening up a portal like this is automatic. This entity is going to go there. Now, it's not a demon. It's not a ghost. It's definitely not a dead person. This entity that I think, like I mentioned before, that operates and probably resides in the 4th dimension, so they can come and go from the 4th to the that they want to. And by doing something like this, you're giving that entity the energy and the opportunity to open a portal right there. So touching that glass is not going to be a problem for the entity.
What should you do to close this door after you open it?
Get rid of this. Get rid of this paper as quickly as possible. I would probably bless some water, put some essential oil on it, or burn it and then put some essential oil on it, bless some more water and put it on the ashes, and then take those ashes and, I don't know, get rid of them somewhere, because these things are extremely, extremely, extremely dangerous.
To the glass also?
No, the glass is fine. Just that paper. They have to get rid of that paper. But the glass is okay.
Okay, Chip, that was our last video.
I think one of the other things I would do is get rid of the energy under the paper as well, because we're looking at a tablecloth, and you can put that Ouija board thing anywhere.
Do you feel that everything that touch the Ouija board can be contaminated for this energy?
Not everything that touches it, but almost like a photocopier. I'm not going to be able to photocopy onto my computer, but if I put that on my computer, I'm definitely going to want to clean off my computer. So on that tablecloth, I would definitely do something to clean it, psychically, energy wise, or with some kind of blessed water or something. But in the case of Ouija boards, I highly recommend everybody do not play with them.
Yeah.
Don't think about them. Yeah. Don't play with them. Don't do anything with them, because there are too many bad things. Like, people run around and we think human beings can be very nice, very, very loving, very caring, very supportive. They see somebody in need, they will come help you. This is a very, very, very small minority of human beings. Human beings can be very, very evil and very, very bad people. These entities that we're dealing with, that are around everywhere, they don't have the same morals and beliefs and ideas that we do. Things that we think are very bad and very evil and just terrible things to do, for them, this is probably just fun and games. They don't care. Think about it like this. Let's say you're walking, and like here in the Philippines, we have this time of the year where all of these, I don't know if they're termites or ants, one of the two, but they have wings and they fly, and they're everywhere, all over the place. Wherever there's a light, there's going to be a bunch of these. And if you go outside, you'll see them. There'll be hundreds and hundreds flying around every single light post. And people would just step on them and swat them and kill them at will, as if we don't care about them. We're not even remotely worried about this insect's life. These entities might feel the same way about us. We're absolutely nothing and insignificant, inconsequential to them. So what they do to us is, it doesn't mean anything. They can step on us, they could squash us, they could do whatever they want. Now, there are some very good entities, and there are some entities I don't want to describe as bad, but they're very mischievous, and they're not even remotely concerned with your personal welfare. So I would tell people, advise them, stay away from Ouija boards. If you are in a house, like you're looking to buy a house, and you see symbols from a Ouija board around the house, don't wait for a brick to hit you in the head before you say, I don't want to buy this house. Just stay the hell away from it at all costs. And even me, with my abilities and what I've done as a little boy growing up, I've seen some pretty bad things in my life on the spiritual realm, on the psychic realm, if you will. And some of these things scare the hell out of me. And at the time, I'm thinking, how am I going to get out of this situation? This is pretty bad. But you have to understand that fear and that panic is gonna give them energy. So you can't allow that. You have to stay in control. And the next thing you have to do is identify these trouble areas. And Ouija board is one of them. Now, people talk about black magic and voodoo and stuff like this. This is very, very dangerous as well. But Ouija boards are beyond that. And I can't explain why. I have no idea why. But some of the entities that can come through, I mean, you can open a floodgate. And if you're irresponsible enough to open up a Ouija board and then just leave it there and walk away and then go off and do something else for the rest of the day and come home, man, you've done yourself a big disservice.
If somebody open one of these portal by mistake, or they don't know how to close it, can you help with that? Can you close one of these portals?
Yeah, this is something I can do. There was a well-known paranormal person online that was doing videotapes about their house and the ghosts in their house, and I could feel that there's a portal under the house. There's a basement, and then there's a hole in the wall in the basement where that part of the basement over there runs under the house, but it wasn't finished. And there's a portal open there. And this individual said, I feel like there's some energy here. And they've been making videos for a while. But the entities that are there, in this case, this is one of those rare cases where I would say, this is an evil entity. Well, not just one, several. But there are other entities there that aren't bad. But this portal remains open, and it's a very powerful portal. Now, I won't go into a lot of detail because I don't want to out anybody or, embarrass anybody or anything. But this individual said, that they would love to be able to have this closed because they don't want this in their life. They can't really afford to move from the house, and nobody really wants to buy the house because of this. So he had a lot of supposed psychics coming there to try to clear and try to get this done. And I could see that he seriously needed this done. And from what I felt and saw in the area on a psychic level, that community at large was in danger because of this. So from here all the way to the other side of the world where he was at, I was able to close this. And afterwards, I was watching the videos, and he said, I can't explain it. I'm not sure why, but all of this paranormal activity seems to have ceased. It seems to have stopped. I didn't contact him to tell him what had happened. I just needed it to stop. So yeah, I can definitely do this. In the case of something like this is something that I would call an infestation. There were so many entities there and so much going on that I felt as though this posed a real danger to people and the area. So I took it upon myself to just take care of that. And I don't do this very often because I don't want to keep running around interfering with entities like this. But when something like this happens, I feel as though we have to take care of this. And so thank goodness, according to this person's YouTube channel, they're not doing any more or ghost or paranormal videos anymore. Yeah. It's all whatever was happening in his house is done.
Okay, Chip, thank you for your advice. I will see you in the next video.
All right, see you in the next video. Thank you. Peace.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Stay away from Ouija boards.